If you're a man over 60 and you've noticed your erections getting weaker, shorter, or even disappearing altogether, you need to hear this, because it's not just aging, and it's not your fault. The truth is, your penile tissue may be starving for oxygen, for blood flow, for nutrients. And no pill can fix that. But what if I told you there's a natural morning drink, just a few ingredients, that could help rebuild that tissue from the inside out, bring back firmer, longer-lasting natural erections in just a few short weeks? I'm Dr. James Carter. I've spent over 30 years specializing in men's health, working with thousands of older men across the country. And in this video, I'm going to show you something most urologists never talk about: how specific nutrients, taken at the right time of day, can begin to repair blood vessels in the penis, restore elasticity in erectile tissue, and activate your body's natural ability to respond to arousal again, without prescriptions, pumps, or side effects. It may sound too simple, but what you're about to hear is grounded in science. From the nitric oxide boosting power of beets and pomegranate, to the vascular heat of cayenne, to the cellular support of lemon and L-citrulline. One simple drink, 7 powerful ingredients, and 3 golden rules for results. And if you stay with me until the end, I'll reveal the exact dosage and timing that nearly triples results for men over 60, even if you've struggled for years. Before we get started, make sure to subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you never miss a science-backed tip designed to help you restore your vitality naturally. And if you find this video helpful, type 1 in the comments. If not, type 0. Your feedback helps me create better, more useful content just for you. All right, let's begin with the very first ingredient in this powerful morning drink. And it's not just delicious, it's scientifically proven to protect and restore blood flow to the most important area of your body. I'm talking about pomegranate juice, nature's own remedy for aging blood vessels and tired erections. 1. Pomegranate juice, the penile protector. I still remember the first time an older patient asked me, "Dr. Kara, is there anything I can do to get my natural erections back without pills?" His eyes were tired, but I could see the hope behind the question. And what I told him that day is exactly what I'll tell you now. Yes, but you have to start with your blood vessels. That's where pomegranate juice comes in. This isn't just fruit juice. It's one of the most powerful vascular protectors nature has to offer. As we age, the delicate blood vessels that carry oxygen and nutrients to the penis begin to narrow. They harden. They lose flexibility. And when that happens, even if you feel desire, your body can't follow through. Pomegranate helps change that. It's packed with antioxidants, specifically polyphenol and elagitannins, that reduce inflammation and repair damage in the endothelial lining of blood vessels. That's the very tissue responsible for letting blood flow into your penis during arousal. When this lining is damaged, erections become weaker, shorter, and eventually stop showing up altogether. But daily use of pure, unsweetened pomegranate juice, even just a tablespoon a day, can support nitric oxide levels, improve blood flow, and begin reversing that damage. In fact, studies have shown measurable improvement in erectile quality in men who drink it consistently, especially those over 60. And here's the part that always surprises men. It doesn't just help the body function better. It helps you feel better. More energy, less shame, a sense of reclaiming something you thought was gone for good. Because when blood flows better, everything changes. But pomegranate is just the beginning. There's another ingredient that works even faster. One that's been studied for its ability to dramatically increase nitric oxide within days. And it comes from a humble root you've probably eaten before. Let's talk about that next. 2. Beetroot powder, the nitric oxide booster. There was a moment early in my career that I'll never forget. I was sitting with a 72-year-old patient who said, "Doc, I want to feel like a man again. Not just for my wife, but for me." That stayed with me because I realized that for so many men, the loss of erectile strength isn't just physical. It chips away at confidence, identity, and connection. That's exactly why beetroot powder can be such a game changer. Beets may look simple on the outside, but inside they hold a powerful secret: natural nitrates. These compounds are converted by your body into nitric oxide, a molecule absolutely essential for achieving and maintaining an erection. It's what signals your blood vessels to open, relax, and allow rich, oxygenated blood to rush into the penis. But here's the problem. By age 60, most men produce far less nitric oxide than they did in their younger years. And without it, the body simply can't create the pressure needed for a firm, lasting erection, no matter how strong the desire is. That's where beetroot powder steps in. Just half a teaspoon stirred into warm water each morning can make a real difference. Within days, many men begin to notice subtle changes, warmer extremities, better blood pressure, even clearer thinking. But more importantly, they begin to feel that stir of arousal again, that spark. It's not a miracle. It's chemistry supported by science and fueled by consistency. What I love most about beetroot is that it doesn't force the body, it supports it. It gives your system what it needs to work naturally, just like it used to. And when combined with the next ingredient in our drink, you create an internal environment where erections don't have to be forced, they begin to happen more effortlessly. Now let me tell you about a powerful citrus that's not only cleansing, but may quietly amplify the effects of everything we've talked about so far. And it might already be sitting on your kitchen counter. 3. Lemon juice, the alkaline cleanser. One morning, I was walking an older gentleman through a new health plan, and he said something that struck me. "Doc, I've cleaned out my garage, my basement. Now I just want to clean out my body." I smiled, because that's exactly what lemon juice helps us do from the inside out. Lemon juice might seem simple, but don't let that fool you. This bright little fruit has powerful effects on circulation, energy, and overall male vitality. As we age, years of poor diet, stress, and medications can leave the body inflamed and acidic. That inner inflammation doesn't just affect your heart or joints, it silently stiffens blood vessels, slows testosterone production, and sabotages the systems responsible for erections. Fresh lemon juice helps shift your body back to an alkaline state. It gently detoxifies the liver, which plays a central role in regulating hormones and filtering out the toxins that interfere with sexual health. It also helps thin the blood, just enough to support smoother flow through your arteries, especially the delicate ones that feed your pelvic region. I often tell my patients that lemon juice is like nature's internal rinse. 1 tablespoon in the morning can wake up your system, refresh your digestion, and open the door for better absorption of all the other ingredients in this drink. When your blood is cleaner, it flows freer. And when it flows freer, erections become easier, more natural, and more satisfying. What's beautiful is that this isn't about adding something new. It's about removing what's been holding you back. And once that internal pressure begins to lift, the body starts to remember how it's supposed to feel. But we're not done yet, because now we're about to add one small ingredient, fiery, bold, and completely unexpected, that has helped many older men feel warmth and fullness down below for the first time in years. Let's talk about that next. 4. Cayenne pepper, the fire starter. I'll never forget the look on a patient's face when I first recommended cayenne pepper for his morning routine. He laughed and said, "Doc, you're telling me the key to better erections is spicing up my drink?" I nodded and smiled, because in more ways than one, that's exactly what it does. Cayenne pepper contains a compound called capsaicin. It's what gives it that heat, and it's also what makes it so effective at stimulating circulation. As men age, blood flow tends to slow down, not just to the heart or legs, but to the very vessels that make erections possible. That's why some men describe a coldness or numbness in the groin area, or a loss of sensitivity during intimacy. It's not just age, it's poor blood delivery. Adding a pinch of cayenne to your morning drink can act like flipping a switch. It gently raises your internal body temperature, expands blood vessels, and encourages flow to every corner of the body, including areas that may have been neglected for years. Some men describe a subtle warmth in their lower body within minutes. Others tell me they feel more awake, alert, and even emotionally energized. What I find so powerful about cayenne is not just what it does physically, but what it represents. It reminds us that fire, passion, and life force are still alive in us. They might be quieter now, but they're not gone. And with the right support, they can come roaring back. But here's where things get even more exciting. Because once your blood is flowing and your tissue is awake, you're ready to take the next step. Not just boosting function, but actually rebuilding the structure inside your body that makes erections strong and long-lasting. And that's exactly what we'll explore next. 5. The science of penile tissue regeneration. Years ago, I had a patient named Carl, 67, retired mechanic, proud grandfather. He came into my office after a long pause in intimacy with his wife. He said, "Doc, I don't need to be 25 again. I just want to feel like myself again." That moment stuck with me because what Carl didn't know, and what many men don't realize, is that your body still has the ability to repair itself, even in your 60s, 70s, and beyond, including the most sensitive areas. Inside the penis are two sponge-like chambers called the corpora cavernosa. These are not just empty tubes, they're made of delicate muscle fibers, nerves, and elastic tissue. Their job is to fill with blood, expand, and hold pressure. That's what creates an erection. But over time, especially when blood flow is weak, those tissues start to break down. They become fibrotic, less elastic, and less responsive. It's not that the desire disappears, it's that the machinery is worn and undernourished. But here's the breakthrough. With the right support, like what you're giving your body through this morning drink, that tissue can begin to regenerate. Nitric oxide helps relax smooth muscle, reduce internal pressure, and trigger your body's natural repair signals. Improved circulation brings oxygen and nutrients where they're needed most. Slowly, gently, the penile tissue becomes more responsive, more elastic, and more alive. This isn't about chasing youth. It's about restoring your natural design, the one that's been inside you all along, just waiting for the right conditions to thrive again. And if you followed every step so far, your body is already moving in that direction. Now imagine if there were one more ingredient, a specific nutrient that could triple this effect, especially in men over 60. A simple powder, easy to find but often overlooked. That's exactly what we'll cover next. 6. Bonus ingredient to triple the effect. Don't skip this. There's something I always tell my patients. Sometimes it's the smallest additions that make the biggest difference. And nowhere is that more true than with this one special ingredient. His name was Ray, 71, former high school football coach. He'd been following the morning drink routine faithfully but told me he was still missing that edge. He said, "It's better, Doc, but I know I've got more in me." That's when I introduced him to L-citrulline, and it changed everything. L-citrulline is an amino acid, but don't let the scientific name intimidate you. What makes it so remarkable is its ability to increase nitric oxide production in a way that's gentle, sustained, and incredibly effective for men over 60. Unlike L-arginine, which often gets broken down too quickly to be useful in older adults, L-citrulline bypasses that process. It moves quietly through your system, helping your blood vessels relax, open up, and deliver rich, oxygenated blood right where it's needed most. Just a 1/4 teaspoon of this tasteless powder in your morning drink can significantly improve your body's ability to achieve and maintain firm, lasting erections. It works especially well when paired with beetroot and pomegranate, enhancing their effects and giving your system the extra boost it needs to function like it used to. Ray came back a few weeks later and said, "Doc, I feel like I've woken up. That kind of shift in energy, in confidence, in intimacy is possible. And it doesn't take a miracle. It just takes the right support, given consistently and with intention. But to make all of this work, to turn it into real lasting results, there are a few rules most men overlook. Simple things, daily choices. And when followed correctly, they can turn this entire drink into a life-changing ritual. Let me walk you through them now. 7. 3 rules for maximum results. Now, I've seen men try all sorts of things, expensive supplements, risky injections, even surgeries, hoping for a miracle. But what I've learned after decades of treating men over 60 is this. The real magic isn't just in what you take, it's in how you take it. That's why these 3 simple rules matter so much. I had a patient named Walter, 69, who had been faithfully mixing the drink every morning. But after a few weeks, he told me, "It's helping, but not the way I hoped." So we sat down and looked at his routine, and what we found changed everything. Rule number 1, take the drink first thing in the morning on an empty stomach. Your body absorbs nutrients best when it's not distracted by digestion. This one timing change can dramatically improve how quickly the ingredients start to work. Rule number 2, consistency beats intensity. You don't need to double the dose or chase shortcuts. What you need is a steady, daily rhythm. This is about long-term repair, not short-term tricks. Your body's ability to heal depends on what you do every day, not once in a while. And rule number 3, avoid sabotaging your progress. That means skipping sugary breakfasts, heavy processed foods, or late-night alcohol that reverses the benefits. Choose clean, supportive meals, foods that work with your morning drink, not against it. When Walter made these small adjustments, he came back smiling. His energy was up. His confidence returned. He told me, "Doc, I finally feel like myself again, and so does my wife." And now you may be wondering, how do you bring all of this together into one simple routine that fits into your life starting tomorrow morning? In just a moment, I'll walk you through exactly how to do that, step by step, so you can begin seeing and feeling the difference for yourself. Conclusion: I've spent more than 30 years sitting across from men just like you. Men in their 60s, 70s, even 80s. Men who've worked hard, loved deeply, and weathered life's storms. And somewhere along the way, many of them started to believe the same quiet lie, that their best days were behind them. That energy, desire, and intimacy belonged to the past. But I'm here to tell you, that isn't true. What we've talked about today isn't theory, it's practical, it's natural, and it's rooted in science and real-life experience. This morning drink, made with pomegranate juice to protect and restore blood vessels, beetroot powder to boost nitric oxide, lemon juice to cleanse, and cayenne pepper to reignite circulation, isn't just a recipe. It's a way to nourish your body, to rebuild what time has worn down, and to feel like yourself again. We added L-citrulline to triple your progress. And we went beyond just what you take. We focused on how and when you take it, so every part of your body is working in harmony. Because this isn't about chasing youth, it's about reclaiming strength, intimacy, and confidence in the most natural way possible. And if you've been listening closely, you already know. This isn't hard. It's simple, a few ingredients, a few minutes every morning, but the impact can be profound. I've seen it change lives. I've watched men walk taller, laugh louder, and reconnect, not just with their partners, but with a version of themselves they thought was gone. If you give your body what it truly needs, gently, consistently, and with intention, it will surprise you. So tomorrow morning, when you reach for that glass, remember, you're not just making a drink. You're making a decision to keep living fully, bravely, and powerfully. Because no matter your age, you still deserve to feel alive. If this video helped you or gave you hope, please take a moment to like, share, and leave a comment below.